and welcome to Eye on the Storm. I am Gillyweed, and Anna, my co-host, who is normally here, is out. So we've got two fresh faces for you guys, and I'll introduce them in just a second. But if this is your first time you're here, first of all, thank you. You're at the Misscliks channel. Misscliks is dedicated to uplifting geek and female geek and gamers in the gaming culture. I totally ruined that, but yay, Misscliks, for being awesome and uplifting female geeks and gamers. This is also Eye on the Storm. So Anna and I developed this show out of a wish to become casters. We wanted to learn more about this game so that we could have casters, and we wanted to share our journey with you in that as well, being able to learn more about the game. So we bring on a guest expert every week. We have a little bit of discussion about the community as well as the game, the meta, where it's going. We also spotlight characters and spotlight different cool things that are happening in the community. We have a Q&A throughout where you can hashtag with Storm Show and ask us questions either for us or for our guest. And then we also will have a play session too that's going to be super fun. So with that, I want to introduce my guest host, DeFebvoir, who's going to be filling in for Anna. Hi, DeFebvoir. Let us know a little bit about you.
I stream on Twitch, and I'm super active in the Heroes community, and I will be going off this weekend to a foreign country that we'll talk about a little later.
Yes, we will have to talk about this because we're both really excited about it.
Yes, much hype.
Very much. And then we have our guest, Frojo. Hey, Frojo, how's it going?
Hi there. I'm doing pretty well. I am an admin for the Heroes Hype amateur series, and I produce content for the heroeshype.com.
And we'll be talking a little bit more about your adminning, as we are going to be talking a lot about esports this week. We wanted to have kind of a two-part segment. The first was last week where we talked about good resources, streams, etc. for you who are just now getting into Heroes of the Storm. And now we wanted to also talk about, if you're just starting to get into the Heroes esports scene, you want to know what tournaments to watch out for, what teams to check out. We're going to be talking a little bit about that. So it should be a really, really fun show. Thank you guys for joining me and talking about it today.
No problem. Glad to be here.
Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Oh, Jinx.
Yeah. You
Frojo.
All right, well, first we're going to start with our community discussion. So we are going to be talking a little bit about open beta. It's almost over. The game's almost live.
Yeah.
No.
Can't believe it.
It's almost a little sad, but it's so happy too at the same time. Very excited.
I know, I'm kind of like, I can't decide how I feel. I mean, I'm definitely really excited for the game, and I want it to get really big, and I love the game, but I also love our close-knit community that we have, and I really hope that we keep it.
Definitely. I have the same hopes.
Yeah, everyone's just kind of worried that once it blows up, the toxicity or whatever that is associated with MOBAs is gonna take over, but I don't know. I'm confident that this community is better than that.
Yeah. A lot of people say that just because it is more focused on playing as a team and you really need your teammates a lot more, you can't just, there's not as much of a carry option, that maybe we won't get the toxicity levels because those types of players will come over and try it and be like, I can't do this, and then leave. But at the same time, it kind of worries me that if it's focused more on teammates, that they're going to rage even more. I can't decide.
Yeah.
Well, this coming Tuesday, actually, is the launch of the game. Deb, can you tell us a little bit about Nexus Calling?
Well, Nexus Calling is happening on midnight on the 1st of June, so it's coming up, was it Monday into Tuesday, I believe, over in London. So Gilly and I will be going to that. It's super exciting. I think we both fly out tomorrow, so extra hype. I'm so excited. Get to go to a foreign country and be there for the launch of the best game ever.
We're going to be leaving and then getting in the next day. It's very confusing.
Yes. Yeah, we won't be technically getting into London until Saturday morning.
Time travel.
Sleeping on a plane. Oh, yeah, time travel.
Well, so do we know much about what's going to be happening at the event? I feel like it's been pretty hush-hush so far about it. Have you heard anything? Are there going to be show matches, anything like that?
Well, they have announced some guests. Madeon will be performing, so that's going to be awesome. They also have Misscliks hosting, and Ann Lee is going to be there as well. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, Smix is a big host in the StarCraft community. And Ian Lee, I had to look him up because I was very confused, but apparently he's a comedian over in England.
Yes, I was unfamiliar as well, so that'll be interesting. Yeah. Brand new experiences in a new country.
Yeah. Frojo, are you going to be watching it?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be watching, and one of the big reasons is because they said they're going to do the Johanna, trailer. So yeah, I love those trailers. Like the Kael'thas one was awesome. I love the Sylvanas one. Yeah, I just think it's great content.
Yeah, those are the ones where it's like actually just the hype trailers for them, right? It's not necessarily as much of the...
yeah, not like the skill breakdown or anything like that. Just kind of like the little backstory. Just get super hype and buy this hero.
Yes.
We're watching... I'm showing the trailer, the Nexus Calling trailer, and did you guys notice that Pally Time is in it?
Yes,
yeah.
It was. I think that was from the BlizzCon announcement of... I'm not sure exactly what, but it was at BlizzCon was when that shot was taken. So.
Well,
I thought it was Heroes of the Dorm, but I guess I was fooled.
No, I think you can tell by the background that I don't believe it's Heroes of the Dorm, actually. Somebody called it out, I think on Twitter. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was one of the panels. Yeah, hype panel.
Are you guys excited for Johanna?
Yeah,
yes, super excited. More female warriors, hype.
She looks awesome.
Yeah, she does. I love her hair.
Mm-hmm. And you're actually, Frojo, are you a big warrior player? I noticed that you were going to show us Chen later in the play session.
Yeah, I mean, I really like support and warrior, so yeah, she just looks like she has a really fun kit. I didn't play Diablo or anything, so I'm not like super hype about the lore aspect or anything like that, but yeah, she looks like a really well-designed character. Should be fun.
Awesome. Well, I'm really hoping that there will be some sort of show match or something at the event. But I kind of like that I don't really know too much about what's going to be going on other than some panels. And then Madeon, of course, too. He's pretty cool if you guys haven't heard him. I really like him.
Yeah, I was listening to some today. It's pretty nice.
Oh, yeah, you said you were doing research by listening to it. Well, where can people watch? Have they given out the Twitch channel or the URL where we'll be able to watch if you aren't going?
I believe it's only on YouTube. Like, they won't have it on Twitch.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I read that somewhere.
Yes, it looks like it is at the end of the video. It has a big YouTube icon on there, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, nexuscalling.com. Yeah, I bet that it's probably just going to be, maybe it might even be this website, just nexuscalling.com. They'll put that on there. They also have this really cool thing where you can click the enter the Nexus, and then it uploads a photo, and then you have it with the like hexagon around it. I don't know.
Yeah, you can put your little profile picture in there.
Yeah, I got overly excited, and then I was trying to get a picture that would work, and then I was getting really frustrated because I couldn't quite find a picture that would work, and I was like, why am I spending so much time on this when I should be packing? And I figured it out. Don't worry.
I'm not gonna lie, I did mine while I was at work today. I was like, oh, I gotta do this really quick. And it wouldn't let me upload the photo I wanted because it wasn't high res enough, so I just had to use a social media photo that was the one that I wanted anyways. It's like, alright, whatever, it works.
Nice. I'm glad that we were both able to get this done when we should have been working on other things.
What? No, priorities.
Frojo, did you do this?
No, I saw some people tweeting it and stuff, but I can't say I've gotten around to it yet.
You better get to it. You only have 3 days, 16 hours, 1 minute, and 54 seconds left now. There's a countdown right here.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's move on then with that. Do we know of any other launch events that are going to be happening not in London? I hadn't heard of anything yet, but wasn't sure if maybe you guys had.
I believe they have one in LA, Paris and Madrid, and I want to say Hong Kong.
Dang!
Yeah, they had I think they had a list of them somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where they had them, but they have them all listed out, and I was like, oh man, they had one in LA. That's so much closer, but
it's not the launch event though.
Right, yeah. We have to go to London.
Yeah, they'll probably be like streaming live the London one.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one that they will be streaming.
All right.
So that's exciting.
That's cool, though, that they have lots of other locations where people can go, though.
Yeah, I think that's one in every region, I guess, because South America is technically part of the North America region, I guess, for servers and everything. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Awesome. And, oh yes, we did have another announcement about Global Play. This was late last week, but Global Play has arrived to the Heroes of the Storm. So now people can switch regions. Before, when people needed to switch regions to play, you had to have another beta key, and then you had to have another account, right? A completely separate account.
Yeah, you used to be able to do it back in closed alpha, but then they pulled it because they wanted to test individual servers and reduce latency. So now it's back.
It is. So now people can go to the different regions, but it's important to note that none of your progression, nothing you buy, anything like that will carry over. So you will have to like buy new heroes and start over from scratch in terms of leveling up heroes. But that does mean that if there is a patch day, you can go play on a different server while your server is patching. So
yes, but you can't go back to your server until their server gets the patch. They did add that little caveat.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. So if your server has a delay and your friends want to play, you can't go back in time, basically.
Oh, Jorduno in chat says there's also a China event with Grubby.
Oh, okay. Right. I heard about that.
That's pretty cool. So, well, yeah, then I'm probably not going to go over on patch day because that would make me really sad, especially if there was a new hero. But do you guys have any plans to like level up European accounts or anything like that?
I don't at the moment. Frojo?
No, not really. I mean, I'll use it for the European tournaments that I'll be admitting pretty soon, but yeah, I don't think I'll be like leveling up more heroes. I've still got work to do on my NA account.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of work. But I guess maybe for the people who are playing full-time, they could go over, like the pros could go over and start to learn the other metas by playing in them. We have that happen a lot in StarCraft as well. So it's nice
that's a big thing for Hearthstone, too.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I mean, people want to get Legend on both servers just to brag about it or whatever.
Oh.
That's
same
insane.
deal. You have to get more cards and everything. It's like, oh my god, I am not going to deal with that.
That is so much work.
I know.
Oh my goodness. I can barely get 20 every month. Like, card back hype.
Thanks for throwing that in there.
No problem.
All right. Well, any other thoughts on Global Play before we move on? No?
It's awesome.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I have some European friends who were trying to get over here, and it was a struggle. I finally got him a key like a week ago, and then it was like, oh, surprise! I was like, all right, well, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all good.
It's a thought that counts. You were being a really good friend.
Yeah, totally.
Well, that is at least really cool that we can see these teams like starting to learn each other's meta, and that is something that we're going to talk about a little bit as we start talking about the esports scene. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about some teams that if people are just getting in, they might look out for these names as like being able to learn from, especially when it comes to meta. Frojo, what are some of the teams that you believe are really good for that?
All right, so in North America, there seems to be a clear division from the top tier teams, and Cloud9 Maelstrom seems to be at the top of that. They're number one in the ESL Major League right now, and they're set to play against Tempo Storm, who is another top team in the WCA. So, yeah, those are two teams that just always have solid picks, solid play. Yeah, you can learn a lot just from watching them. And on the European side, there's Team Liquid. They're just unbeatable right now, basically. Like, unfortunately, they didn't qualify for the ESL Major League, but the relegation round is coming up for that, so they'll be entering, and they've been winning every tournament they enter, basically. So,
really?
Yeah, you can learn a lot about the European meta from them.
What are some things that characterize the play of Cloud9 and Team Liquid?
So Cloud9 just kind of always makes the right decision as a team. There's rarely anyone getting caught out of position. They've got the coordination if they're running like a wombo combo team, or if they're just like using a poke comp or something. They're all just on the same page, and you can just tell that they're a cohesive unit. And then Team Liquid, on the other hand, just kind of has more like spectacular plays. Like, they make great individual plays. Like Blackscorp is just kind of known as this godly Zeratul player who will hit like the best void prisons you've ever seen. And yeah, so it's just kind of a difference between the teams and the players and the meta.
I wonder if we'll ever get to see these two face off. Maybe at the BlizzCon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't believe how hyped that is going to be.
Yeah.
Freaking out already, buddy.
Just thinking about it. Yeah, BlizzCon is going to be amazing.
What about some of the other pro teams that you would note as far as maybe innovative play, or just teams that you should definitely look out for when wanting to maybe learn some good play styles?
Let's see. There's well, 2Arc has pulled off some of the weirdest stuff so far. Like, they were the first ones to bring Tyrael back into the meta after he lost Casticide. They used Judgment with Tyranda's, what is it, Shadowstalk, which was just an incredible combination. Like, no one saw that coming. And then more recently, they started running zero tank comps. Like, their only frontliner would be Illidan or something weird like that, and like they made it work. So, yeah, if you're looking to see crazy, innovative stuff, definitely keep an eye on 2Arc.
Was that in ESL? I remember seeing that, and I was like, what? Everyone was like, what is happening in this game? And then they won with it. Yeah,
I'm trying to remember who it was against. It was definitely in ESL. I can't remember. Sorry.
I know. Fax is in the chat. He may just let us know.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, so those are teams. What about up-and-coming teams? So teams that we are maybe even seeing in the Heroes Hype Amateur Series or in some of the other amateur tournaments that we might be seeing them move up into the majors pretty soon.
Sure, yeah. We just had the beta finals event, which was awesome, and the plays had some amazing plays.
Oh, the puns for days.
Oh, Frojo, as Deb would say.
Is that my catchphrase now?
Yeah, I think
Frojo.
so.
But yeah, so like they just formed recently. Like, those players have been on pro teams before and playing on different amateur teams, but yeah, they really seem to be working well as a team. Pool Play-Doh some Tangos, that's another interesting name, but they've been doing well recently. Kappa Wolves, they've won like almost all of the Nexus Mayhem tournaments, so you know they're on top of their game right now.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Wild Growth. They used to have a stupidly long, complicated name, but they've simplified it to Wild Growth, and they've been a consistent team at the top of the amateur scene for a long time now, so I expect that they'll probably make it through relegation for the ESL, entering the major leagues.
That's pretty soon, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they have a date yet for it, but it is soon.
Maybe for people who don't know how the tournaments work, could you explain how one would get like a team into the major league for ESL?
Sure.
Yes.
So there's.
Explain this.
I'll keep this to a minute.
Stroking my beard.
So yeah, there are 8 teams in the major league. So when a season ends, the bottom 4 teams enter the relegation. So they might not be entering for the next season, and they enter into a tournament with the top teams from the Open League, which is an ongoing league where you can sign up. Anyone can sign up. They do league play, and then there's a playoffs to find out who will be in the relegation tournament. So then the top 4 teams that emerge from that relegation tournament will go into the next Major League season.
And the next one will be Season 3, correct?
Yep. They haven't announced the start yet, but Season 3 is on the way.
What was I gonna, gosh. Oh, so you said you expected Wild Growth to go on. Do you know of which of those amateur teams have been playing in the Open so far?
I think all of the ones that I've named, actually,
Okay.
have been playing. Yeah, I was looking at, like, they're separated into different groups, so I just know that Wild Growth is undefeated, or at least they were the last time I checked. So, yeah, got a pretty good shot.
All right. Well, Deb, did you have any questions about the ESL while we were talking about that, the majors?
No, that was a pretty good explanation.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you. My beard stroke is satisfied. Thank you.
I appreciate it too, because I think that'll be really important. Sometimes that can get really confusing for people who just come in and they're like, people are talking about relegation and stuff. It's like, slow down. What's happening? How did these teams get here? Why is it considered majors? All right, so we've talked about up-and-coming teams. I see Lily is a boy here. Can you talk about Lily as a boy?
So I've only seen them play once. I have no idea what their name is going for or whatever, but I know that Chew8 is on the team, and Chew8 is a popular streamer. He's one of my favorites to watch personally. He's just really funny. He makes good plays. He's also on a team with Araragi, who is formerly from SK Gaming, which is a European team, but he's playing on North America now. So, yep, they're looking to form a new team, and I think, no, they didn't win. They came in second for the latest Go for Heroes Americas tournament. So, watch out for them.
Second to Cognitive, right?
Yep, Cognitive.
So what are some, like, are they really aggressive? I know Chew8 really likes Nova, right?
Yeah, the #1 player killer hero.
Yeah.
I actually didn't see him play Assassins, though. He was playing support, which was surprising because I don't really see him play that on stream very often. But yeah, there was one Haunted Mines game, pretty sure it was over in like 7 minutes, where you could just tell that like these pro players, like, they know their stuff, they've got the technical skill, like, yeah, I didn't actually catch the finals against Cognitive, unfortunately, but yeah.
Was Chew8
Sure.
on a different team, or is this his first team?
This is his first Heroes team. Yeah, he's been just playing for hot dogs before this.
So, we've had lots of hot dogs discussions on the show before.
Yeah.
It's a good time. All right, so let's go into tournaments to watch. For the sake of Deb here, pretend Deb is new to eSports and maybe even new to Heroes, which is not true, but new to eSports. What are some tournaments that are really friendly to new viewers, maybe wanting to learn a little bit from the tournaments, but also just to see kind of how the tournament, how competitive Heroes is going to play out?
Yeah, so the amateur tournaments tend to be a little more viewer-friendly or noob-friendly, just because they're not going totally in-depth with like the talent choices. They're not like showing off the damage charts, and yeah, they're just kind of explaining the maps and the decision-making that you would expect from teams at that level. So there's the Heroes Hype Amateur Series, which I run every Wednesday. Yeah, so that's every Wednesday, and we just started up the European Amateur Series, which will be every Friday. And so on Mondays, there's also the Nexus Mayhem tournaments, which is another amateur-only tournament. So yeah, you can learn plenty from those streams.
And I might be jumping ahead here, but since these are amateur tournaments, anybody can join them, correct?
Yep. As long as you're not a major league team.
Right.
All right, sweet. Let me take some notes here. Join amateur series team. Yay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to learn. Like, you can just sign up as a free agent. Other people are just looking to form a team and see, like, oh, so this is what competitive Heroes is like. Like, it's more than just the regular, like, if you've played Hero League, there's no bans, there's no, like, map thing, it's just random. But there's actually a lot of strategy that goes into your map choices and, like, the ban pick phase. So yeah, it's a great way to get that experience.
To learn that side of it.
Hmm.
And you said that there's a free agent chat. So even if you don't have a group of friends that you've been playing with quite a bit, there's a where would one find a said free agent thing?
So we do a thread every week on the Heroes Hype forums. It's
Mhm.
heroeshype.com/forum. And yeah, so even if you don't form a team, like teams are looking for subs, so you can get in that way. Like it's very accessible. Everyone's really friendly, and we're all just here to have a good time and learn about competitive heroes.
We also, I will boast, have what I believe is the most comprehensive team names. There are a lot of different types of team names, some not so good, some very clever, some pretty straightforward. Like you mentioned Wild Growth, it used to be like the extremely something cats in the hats of Wild Growth.
Yeah.
It was like a very, very long. And we were calling them Cats Gaming, which apparently they didn't like because the next time they shortened it themselves to Wild Growth.
Yeah, and then we found out that the plays is actually like an anagram or whatever. Like it's the first letter of each of the players' names. So that's kind of cool. Like
Yeah.
Today I learned.
And then I
That's
asked
awesome.
oh yeah, I know, right? I asked them, I said, okay, so, because they like let me know that. So then I said, okay, how do you pronounce it? And they're like, it's pronounced how it is, or something like that. I was like, I don't understand. And then they never told me how to pronounce it. So I was like, okay, well, we're just going to stick with the plays then. Yay.
It's definitely easier to make puns if you just go with the plays. So
Yes.
we'll go with that.
Pun potential is high. 10 out of 10.
Exactly. All right, so I think we can skip ahead a little bit because that's more ahead, and we're going to talk about getting involved in esports. But all right, so tournaments to watch that are industry leading. So that we'll probably see more Heroes of the Storm tournaments following suit in doing so. What would you suggest in that category?
So we've been talking about the Major League a lot. That's just kind of, ESL has been the first to really jump on board and get like a great league system going. They've got like two of the best casters, Solid Jake and the Kubi. They've got great production value, and they've got the best teams. So if you're looking to really get into the meat of the competitive scene, definitely watch ESL. They do North America and Europe on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay. And are there any other ones that you would think will maybe be on the cusp of that as well?
In Europe, there are a bunch of like not as regular tournaments going on, so it's a little harder to keep track and everything. I mean, the BlizzCon qualifiers are going to be amazing.
Okay.
They're getting different companies, I guess, different organizations for the different regions, so it'll be interesting to see production value. Speaking of which, the Asian scene has amazing production value.
Right?
I've been watching the Storm League, and it's like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, they've got like little additions to the UI and everything, and just transitions. They've got some weird hero picks and everything, but that's another topic.
You say weird, I say amazing.
Yeah.
Sanctification. But they also have really huge prize pools too.
Yep. I mean, I'm not sure what the Storm League prize pool is, but the WCA tournament, which is going to be like the finals, are in China, I think. Yeah. That's got the biggest prize pool outside of BlizzCon. My mind is blanking right now. I don't want to say too high or too little. I'm thinking somewhere around $100,000.
The WCA does?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think before the
pretty high.
WCA, the Storm League was the highest, but I think WCA has more. I can't actually remember.
Yeah. And I mean, it's only going to go up from here. Like, the game isn't even out yet. You know, like, the player base is going to explode. People are going to take notice. Sponsors going to be like, whoa, what's this game that everyone's playing? Yeah.
I think it's time for us to make a team, Deb.
Yeah. Brawl with the Bays, I'm saying.
All right. Well, Hype Factor was another one we want to talk about in terms of tournaments to watch. So what are some very hyped tournaments?
So I always get the most hype when it's the Clash of Regions, because in Twitch chat you always see these people just debating, or not really debating, just trolling, like NA greater than EU, EU greater than, you know, China or whatever. Like, it's always great to just see everyone put their best foot forward for their region and see like which team will actually just be better than everyone else, like who is dominant at this game that we all love.
All right, so cool. So that's the WCA.
Yep, and then there's also the BlizzCon qualifiers, which will be gathering, I forget the breakdown, there's like 3 teams from NA, I think. And then a bunch from all over, like Taiwan, Korea, Europe. I wish I had the thing in front of me right
now. Deb, do you have any favorite teams from, like, in watching Heroes?
Well, I voted for Arizona, so obviously I have a lot of hype for Arizona, even though Boston made it so far in Heroes of the Storm. Oh, it's so sad. But Kappa Wolves are that's probably my team to watch right now, just because of some Arizona bleed over hype. So yeah, get that Udall hype.
It is. It's Udall, Fam, and Akaface. I think all were on it. So that's pretty awesome that we were able to see some of the players who were in the amateur series so many times, be able to see them go so far. That was really fun. That event was awesome.
Yeah, it was. It was so much fun.
Well, hopefully we'll get to see Kappa Wolves go far. We just had Michael Udall on a few episodes ago, so that was pretty cool too.
Yes, I had the pleasure of octo-grabbing him when he was playing Illidan. it was a good time.
I was watching that play session earlier. I forgot you were playing Murky.
Yeah. That was such a troll pick. I was like, whatever, let's just do it.
Do you play Murky normally?
I have him at Master, so yeah.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
No big deal.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Murky games.
Yeah, because he was at level 1 until they made him free, and so now he's 10. So that was pretty recently. I think he had his free week a few weeks ago, probably like a month ago now, I think. So yeah, he's so much fun though. Murky is a god. He's a god tier.
He is pretty good. We had a feature on him not too long ago, so if you guys are interested in Murky, go back a few episodes. I believe it was Airho who played him, and we Murky fall statted it. It was great.
Yeah.
But I can't be positive. But go look for it. It's good.
The fish taco combo?
Yeah, it's like the soggy taco.
Oh.
Well, I don't know if it's called the soggy taco. Fish taco is good. I like that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
All right, well, you want to mention any other teams or tournaments before we move into sort of how to get into esports from just playing the game?
No, I mean, watch the tournaments and you'll learn the names of the teams and the players, and you'll develop your favorites, I'm sure. So.
Awesome.
Yep.
Sometimes some little special tournaments pop up, which are pretty cool, like 1v1s and 2v2s, 3v3s. Those are always fun to watch just to see, you know, what the potential of the game could have in the future. Maybe they'll have some different maps where you only have so many people or something. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Those are kind of
Blizzard.
niche choices.
That would be awesome. You played in one of those, right?
Yeah, I was in one of the 1v1 competitions. It was scary, but it was exciting at the same time. It was really, really fun.
I got to cast you.
Yes,
and that was really awesome.
That was a really cool game. It was really fun. The Zagara plays.
Those Zagara plays were so
Very
good.
exciting. Yeah,
But you were
Zagara
so
and
mad
Zuko,
about
I
the
think it was.
Asmodean game.
Oh, I know. I threw. Well, I watched it over again and realized that I made a huge mistake. Should have gone to turn-in. Oh, well. Today I learned.
The more you know.
Yes, the more you know.
That is a really good point, though, that there is a lot of potential in terms of competitive, even if it's only on more of like a fun level, not super competitive, professional level. There's a lot of just ways to make something, like to take the game and make it different, like with 1v1s. There are some 3v3s as well. I think like at one point people were talking about making an like an all random, all mid, where everyone has to random in. Yeah, it would be really amazing.
As long as they fix the bug with the Lost Vikings where you click on your account. Soon, TM.
Soon-ish. So yeah, there's always lots of possibilities for those, so just be watching social media to be able to see those, and Reddit as well. Everyone wants to announce the things that they're going to do on Reddit too, so it's a really good place for you to be able to find if people are doing more of those like crazy tournaments, as well as we always announce like the amateur series. The Nexus Mayhem is always announced on there as well, so for any sort of getting into the scene, that's a really good place to check.
Yep, there's our Heroes of the Storm, and then there's also our Nexus Newbies, which was recently created. So yeah, you can check out either of those places, or both, to find out more about Heroes.
I haven't heard of Nexus Newbies, the subreddit.
Yeah, see, Steve just made it like maybe a week or two ago. Yeah, it's just designed to be friendly for new players. There'll be veteran players answering questions, and you know, like people who are looking for groups, like, hey, let's learn this game together. It's a good place to go.
That's awesome.
May or may not have just written that down. Thank you.
That's really cool.
The pro tips. All right.
Super awesome. Okay, well, cool. Nexus Newbies. Got it. All right, so once you're not a newbie, once you want to start competing, we talked a little bit about getting into free agent chats, but we didn't want to just briefly mention how to get involved in the Heroes eSports. We actually had a Making a Team episode of Eye on the Storm with Kiefers, and it was a few weeks back. Actually, it was quite a few weeks back, but it was very beneficial. I thought it was a great episode with Kiefers. We were able to talk about like recruiting people, having difficult talks with people who you're going to have on your team. So if you are working toward making a dedicated team, a team full of 5 players, definitely check that episode out. It's super good. But also, there are some different modes that you can start to play in as well that are a little more advanced in-game than just quick match, and that's Hero League, Team League, and then the custom games as well. So Hero League is where you can queue up with a certain number of friends, but it doesn't have to be 5. Team League is where it does have to be 5, and it's a dedicated certain number of people. And then custom games is where you might do things like scrims, where you would be setting up a game versus another team as well. Team League, though, that's something that I think a lot of people have had troubles with so far, at least in the NA scene. Is that correct? Do you guys know?
I've heard, at least on my side, I've heard a lot of problems with the queue times. They're like somewhere around an hour sometimes. They're pretty terrible and long. So a lot of streamers I've seen have been just streaming other games while they're in queue. So
queue for Team League?
Yeah, for Team League.
Wow. So
yeah, really long queues.
Do you think it's just because there aren't a lot of teams set up yet?
I think that it's probably because there are a lot of high-level teams, so it's having a hard time trying to matchmake for the lower teams that are just trying to get started. There are a lot of 50 teams out there. I know every team I'm on is level 50, so we haven't even gotten into any games. I don't have a single game played in Team League.
I have a Team League team dedicated for my stream, and we were like, yeah, we're going to do Team League. We went in, queued, faced Tempo Storm, and then we were like, let's go back to Hero League. Yay!
Exactly. That's part of the problem is, like, with the queue times, it's like, well, we can wait an hour, or we can queue up as 5 in this other queue and still get a game in, like, a reasonable amount of time. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
But Team League does at least offer you the first come, first serve when you're picking. So that's a lot. That's really nice, because when you queue up in Hero League, it's like, okay, well, whoever randomly gets to be first and then second, third has to be the one that picks. So, like, if you're trying to set up where maybe you've got a certain person playing support and they are first pick or whatever, then you're gonna be first picking your support.
I think the party leader actually always shows up on top.
Right.
If it's a group of 5.
Yeah. So you have
then
a
after
tiny
that,
bit
it's
of
random,
control.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I anticipate them possibly adding something to at least rank your team, maybe? That would at least be a feature I would appreciate. I don't know if they will add that, but it seems like a good idea. Hint, hint, cough, cough.
What do you mean?
Like, if you're queuing up as 3, maybe you prioritize where they are in the player slots, and then when you get thrown into a match, that's how they would show up, at least as far as your team goes.
That makes sense.
So if you queue up as 5, you have your order picked, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I just think that they should probably put in something so that you can swap heroes.
Yeah, like, oh, grab this guy, grab Sylvanas, we need that.
And then someone else, because sometimes it happens that, like, okay, you do have a good Sylvanas player at first, but then later on you're like, what we really need is a Brightwing, and then the person in last is like, I don't play Brightwing, and then it's like, well, do you play Sylvanas? Yes, well then we can swap. Like, I understand that. I think maybe the concern is that people will rage if you don't want to swap heroes.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I mean, I think, for me at least, I think that it's the alternative, or it's worth it for maybe a couple of people who are going to rage about that to, in the long run, be able to, like, say, okay, let's go ahead and pick up Illidan, and then we'll swap them to someone else who can actually play him. Like, if I got queued in first, we were on Haunted Mines, I don't know that I would want to take Sylvanas, and, you know, Sylvanas is really good.
Right,
but
you wouldn't want the other team to have Sylvanas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's something that I'm hoping they'll eventually consider adding.
Maybe they'll at least add that functionality for people who queue as 5. Because then that's something that, like, hopefully you're not going to rage at your other 4 people that you're with.
Yeah, that you're queuing, that you're in comms with.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you let me have Vola?
Man, I'm pouting right now. So angry.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll hope for that. Meanwhile, we talked about amateur tourneys. There's the ESL Open, the Nexus Mayhem, and Heroes Hype Amateur Series. You can just sign up for all of those, Frojo, as far as you know?
Yep, they're all open to anyone who wants to sign up.
Where would somebody find them? Obviously, the amateur series is on heroeshype.com. Is Reddit a good place where they always post there, or is there a better place to be looking for those?
Yep, Reddit seems to be the best place to go. I haven't signed up for Nexus Mayhem, so I don't actually know what their process is, but I know they make Reddit posts whenever the tournament is up, so you can message someone or maybe find them on Twitter.
When Nexus Mayhem's Mondays, Heroes Hype NA is Wednesdays, EU is Fridays. What about the ESL Open?
So the ESL Open is actually, like, you schedule your own matches. They give you, like, a time frame to do it, and then you just kind of communicate with the other team, like, yeah, we'll be open, like, 5 o'clock on Wednesday or whatever, like, whatever time you both decide on. As long as you can get your matches in, there'll be no problem with that. And I think that appeals to a lot of teams. That's why they got so many people to sign up for it.
Okay. So go to Reddit.
Yeah.
Reddit is the answer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, one last thing we did want to mention is ways that you could be involved in Heroes of Esports that aren't playing on teams. And Frojo here is an admin of a tournament, so I was hoping maybe you could talk about that as well as maybe some other roles that you know of that people could still be involved in the esports scene if they really like it, but if they don't, maybe they don't feel comfortable playing or confident, or just, you know, want to be involved in different ways.
Yeah, sure. There's plenty of ways to get involved. Like, I admin, so I make sure all the teams are ready to go, following the rules. Everyone can find each other and get their matches started on time and everything. There's also different roles like casting, which Gillyweed has a bit of experience with. So yeah, you can be a coach for a team. You can help with social media, just like being a part of a team or an organization. Like, there's a lot more to a tournament than just a bunch of players showing up and like, hey, let's go. Like, yeah, it takes a little more work than that.
We have team coaches?
Yeah.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
What do they do?
Work? What do they do?
So they'll help with, like, the drafting. They analyze the replays with the team and point out things like, oh, you guys could have done this here, or this play was really good. And then also just like on a regular sport like esports is kind of the same. Like just make sure everyone's feeling positive and gets them motivated to play well. Like
so
there's
my
actually
calling.
a big mental aspect. Hey, you never know.
Get high.
How does one get involved with that? Like with doing that? Do you?
I don't have any experience with coaching, but I'm sure just be talking with players on the team.
Maybe
Yeah,
like
I mean-
watch for openings if they were looking, and maybe like analyze replays if you could get your hands on some replays from tournaments. Then that way you could get practice in analyzing pro ones.
Yeah. Also, playing with the team probably helps a bunch. Like the two that come to mind are Zoya for Tempo Storm. I know he used to be a member, but now he's coaching. So, like, he also handles like the administrative stuff, like what tournaments they're going to and that kind of stuff. And then I know Suki for 2ARC is really involved with like the drafting. Like he loves just analyzing and theory crafting, coming up with new strategies and hero picks. So yeah, coaches can do a lot of work.
That's awesome. I think even you mentioned.
Maybe that's.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Brett.
sorry.
Go ahead, Deb. You're good.
Oh, maybe that's not for me then. I'll just be a cheerleader. How's that sound?
Are there
Team.
esports cheerleaders?
Is that a job? I could fill that position.
I was going to say that I think now that you mentioned playing with the teams, I'm pretty sure that's what happened with Wild Growth. Blythock used to play with them and now coaches as well. So that makes a lot of sense since you know the team already.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, any final thoughts about, we do have the calendar of esports events. So if you guys are looking to watch more esports, then definitely check out Heroes Hype as Frojo. Do you do this, Frojo?
Yeah, it's an ongoing struggle to
Why
keep
is
up
it a
to date with everything. There's just so many events popping up. Like DreamHack just announced 2 tournaments today. So yeah, I try to get as many tournaments listed on there as possible from all of the regions, not just North America. So if you're looking for content, there's plenty out there. Like literally, there is a tournament every single day. Like just in Asia or Oceania, however you pronounce it.
I struggled with that just on
Yeah,
Heroes Hype on
I
air.
heard that.
What?
Yeah, I heard that when I was watching the
Oh yeah, I did.
cap.
Quit
Yeah.
it. But this is amazing. This is very comprehensive.
Yeah, so if anyone out there is organizing a tournament, just send me a tweet, send me a message. I'll get it added on there, and then it'll show up on our scoreboard on Heroes Hype. So, yeah, that's a great way to keep track of all the goings-on.
And for those people who are just like, hey, I have a couple hours, let's see if anything's on, they can come right over here and see if something's on too. So
Yep.
that's really amazing. They even start at 4 a.m. So
Yeah,
all times.
gotta do the time traveling.
Yep. All right, cool. Well, with that, I think we are going to, we'll take a quick break while we set up a play session. Frojo, who are you going to be showing us a build for today?
I'm going to be playing the Drunken Panda Chen. I love this guy.
He drinks brew, only brew. That
Yep.
could be tea.
He drinks a lot of it.
You never know. He does
Could
drink a
be
lot.
tea. Yes. Totally tea, guys. Oh,
Tea comes in kegs, right?
Yeah. Got a keg of oolong right here.
All right, cool. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we will have the play session. We'll have more voices in here as well, and I will be observing the game, so I'll make sure that Frojo lets you know the talents. We'll also make sure to link the build in chat, so hold on, guys. We will see you in just a bit.